before I got on the air of favorite versus what would have been at that time. John, we'll start with you. How did you tackle it?
I tackled it from, everybody's going to have their opinion, okay? I tackled it as a great Kiss record. Like, let's say, it was, just a Kiss record after Love Gun. And that's how I tackled it. If you were going to make a record and you were going to put the best songs on the record, okay? But each member needed to contribute.
Right.
And that's how I am looking at this. And I know these records like the back of my hand. I know every note, every lick, every drum beat. So I am ready.
All right. Well, let's hear it. Side A, side B. Let's go.
Okay. Now, should we start 10-1?
No. Just like the record would roll from side A to side B. Track 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, we're in 78. It's an album, vinyl.
It's an album. Okay. We're going to start it out with Rip It Out from Ace. So good. Oh, my God.
Never in history has a Kiss record opened with an Ace Frehley sung song.
And
you're breaking that history.
It ever will.
No, it never will. Not at this point, no. But all right, we're in Kiss fantasy land, so go ahead. Gene and Paul are actually going to allow the 1978 Kiss record to open with a Kiss song. We'll get with an Ace song. All right, go ahead.
Okay, just because it's a great song, and everybody listening can imagine how this kicks off. Everybody can imagine just how it kicks off. And then, number 2, we have Move On from Paul. So good. Just incredible. And that is, it's a second track on the Paul album, but that's not important. Number 3, I think this is such a phenomenal song, and it really shows the Beatle influence of Gene. One of my favorite songs of all time from Gene is Mr. Make Believe. Unbelievable.
All right, so you're getting mellow on track. You're getting mellow already on track 3. You're turning it down a notch, but okay.
But here's the thing: back then, in those days, there were, I think, it wasn't all just like heavy songs. There were like nice songs like this on those records, especially in the 70s. Not just from Kiss, but could be from anyone. Another one. Okay, next, Tonight You Belong to Me, Paul. Amazing. Incredible.
And you're closing out side 1 with?
Such a good one. Fractured Mirror.
Whoa! You're bookending your side 1 with Ace.
Goodness.
Instrumental to end side 1 and open with an Ace vocal on side 1. This is controversial right out of the gate.
Right out of the gate. Because, now think about when we were kids, okay? We knew who sang what, but we didn't know who wrote what. I wasn't like, oh, fucking Paul wrote God of Thunder. I never thought that. Not ever. So we're just going with how a record would go. Then you flip that sumbitch over, and we're going to start with It's All Right from Paul.
Which actually does open the second side of his record.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And it's an ass kicker.
Great song.
Then I'm going to go to an amazing Peter song. Amazing Peter song called Don't You Let Me Down. I sing it all the time throughout the day. Great song. Great song. Then I'm going to go, let's see. Now this is tough. Man of a Thousand Faces, just another great Gene song, just incredible. Let's see, and then I'm going to go with I'm in Need of Love. So good. Wow. So good. Heavy.
And what's the record close with, John?
Now, it's a little controversial, but it's a great song. And it closes Peter's record, and it's I Can't Stop the Rain.
I love that song.
It's a great song, obviously, yeah.
I love that song.
John's record, you just heard. Roger, run yours down while John's on the line so we can critique you now.
Okay, so I took the approach of, okay, it's 1978, and we're making the follow-up to Love Gun. And each member submits these songs, and I'm Eddie Kramer, and I've got to pick the songs I want on the record and the order. So I went and looked. You know, every Kiss album, with the exception of Revenge, starts with a Paul song. Not only a Paul song, but it starts with the song that the band will usually wind up opening live shows with, whether it's Detroit or Love Gun or I Stole Your Love. So I wanted to open this album with a Paul song that I felt Kiss could open a show with. So my side one, track one, is Paul's Wouldn't You Like to Know Me, which I think is just an ass kicker.
Wow. Okay. I mean, so do I. I mean, look, well, I'll get into my stuff in a second. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anyway, so number two, going by that time, you would have maybe one. Remember, Ace's first vocal was on Love Gun. So he's only really, up until that point, had no songs on an album, now just one. So I limited the Ace and Peter songs because they had limited songs on these records at the time. So my number two is Rip It Out. And the only reason it wasn't number one, like on Five's album, is because of what I just said. They would always open with a Paul song, and it would be kind of a song you could open the show with. My number three is Where You Need to Put a Gene song. And it's my favorite Gene song. I think solo albums, non-solo albums, one of my all-time favorites. And even the unplugged version is fantastic. It's See You Tonight. So it got a little mellow there. Mm-hmm. My number four on side one, Ace was getting those two songs an album after that. So my number four is Snowblind.
So you got two Ace songs on side one already.
I got two Ace songs on side one and one Gene so far. And now I close out side one. I wanted to close it out. It's the end of a side. You want to close with something kind of dramatic, something big. So I close it with my favorite song off the Paul Stanley album, which is Take Me Away Together as One.
Okay.
Now we flip to side two. So now side two, you've got like a second side of the album. You need an ass kicker open again. That's where I put Gene's Radioactive. I think it works as an opener to a side, followed by another great Paul Stanley track, Tonight You Belong to Me, at number 7. And this is where it gets weird. My album is kind of Paul heavy. After, it was hard to, but this is how I felt a Kiss album would flow. After Tonight You Belong to Me, I have It's All Right, which is another great Paul track. And then in the number 9 slot, you need that Peter song. You need that ballad. And as much as I like, and as much as I love, I Can't Stand the Rain, for some reason, in listening to these songs over and over again, Easy Thing fit better for me. And I love that song. And it's another big, long, dramatic song. So Peter's song representation on this album for me comes on side 2 in the 9th slot with Easy Thing. And to me, it was a no-brainer. You're going to end this album. Paul had the ultimate ending track, and I end it with Goodbye.
All right.
And that's how he ends his record as well.
Right.
Exactly.
So let me.
And by the way, I even named this album. This is how weird I got with this thing.
Well, no, people suggested doing that. Actually, I've heard from people who assigned a producer to it, a name to it. I mean, last night
I produced this one, so there you go.
Last night when Morello was texting me, who we'll hear from at some point about this. Morello, who I had to reel in big time because, of course, he can't play by the rules because he starts texting me the songs, but who he would have assigned to sing them and play on them. So he started producing the record. And I'm like, you can't do it like that. He's like, why? I go, because that's not the rules I'm setting in place. So we may have lost him totally today because he had okay, so I've got Snowblind with Peter singing it. No, that's not how it works.
That's great. No, that's great. And here's how crazy I was getting going by, Five's list was, I'm thinking Love Gun. I'm like, okay, Love Gun ends with a cover. It ends with Then You Kissed, Then She Kissed Me. And then I'm like, well, Peter's got a cover in on his record. Do I end with that? That's how crazy this got for me in putting it together. And like you, Ed, I had maybe 5 different versions of the record before I came with the one I want. But anyway, I'll let you guys go. But I named this album appropriately, I think, for the time. What was that?
Well, no, go ahead. What's the name of the album?
I called it Kiss Phantoms. Which
all right,
sounds
see,
like a Kiss name.
Yeah, I was going to give, if I was going to give my album a name, I was also going to play off of Phantom of the Park, and I was going to call it Talisman, which actually is the name of a Kiss tribute band right now with my friends Phil, Jeremy, and Ryan that play in Ace's band. But anyway, all that aside, because I'm already 20 minutes in, and it's like crazy here what's going on.
I have an album title.
Go ahead.
You Can't Beat It, and kids would have went nuts for it. You ready? You guys, everybody ready in Radioland? Nights in Satan's Service.
I like it.